Okay. Hey, are we on or off here? I guess we're on.
No, we're on. Here.
Okay. All right. This is WCSS 1490 in Amsterdam, New York, and this is a show with no name. Okay. I've got my headphones back. Wow. This is.
A little panic there.
I don't know what just happened there. I don't know what happened to the theme song.
Must be we gotta have those on over there.
There it is. Okay. It's all right. So we got a theme song.
There
All
we
right.
go. Okay.
Okay.
What's the theme?
I don't know.
What's the theme?
I don't know. I don't know what the theme for the day is. This is.
How about getting it right?
I know. We need more time. We need somebody to do a news break in between, like a 10-minute news break before we come on.
So we get everything straightened out before we go on.
Well, they had a lot of time to get.
You know,
the colors out and-
I previously said it's like a Chinese fire drill when Sam leaves and we come in, but I don't want to be accused of discriminating against anybody
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
or racism. I got accused of that on Facebook. Somebody said that.
You were a racist?
Oh yeah, that I attacked the Buddhist religion and the Chinese people and.
Really?
5 kilometers.
Oh, this is like 3 years ago or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, there's a lot going on in the city today with the controversy with the mayor and some of her false statements that she had when she was on the radio the other day.
She was on the radio?
Yeah.
On this station?
Yeah, previous to.
What mistakes did she make?
Well, she said that she had nothing to do with the Charter Commission, and she and she was there every night except one.
I'm sorry.
Giving her.
Stop right.
No, I just got to clear it up because she went on the air and saying it that she had nothing to do with it and she wasn't there, but she was there every night except one.
Oh, jeez.
And between her and Jerry, they were giving them hints on.
Hence, Jerry was sitting right at the front and telling them what to do.
Yeah, so.
And you heard what Michael said, that
shouldn't have been there to
that one of them says, well, we have to do this because this is what the administration wants.
Yeah. So Jerry, neither one of them.
Right. All this stuff just came out of their heads. Gee, how can we give the mayor more power, near absolute power? You know, what do you see as a difficulty? I'm afraid they're going to cut my budget because.
And she said that she was happy with every amendment.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She also said that there was no collaboration between her and the council when they do different things, and she proceeded to say how she bought the Rams. I don't remember any collaboration for that. And then she's going to put them around the city. There is no collaboration. I don't know where does she get this? She think everyone is stupid?
Well, she's counting on everybody having a short memory. I'll tell you.
Well, I guess, but and she keeps saying that how the city needs to increase their revenue. Well, give me a break.
That's an original thought.
Give me a break. All she's got to do is call AMR in Troy, and they will come up here where they were originally invited, and they will give the city anywhere from $3 to $6 million a year to take care of all their problems. But, well, I guess, I don't know. It wasn't her idea, so it's no good. I mean, everything that I've heard against the C&D landfill was mitigated in their perspective to do the job scientifically. And I haven't heard anything scientifically against it, except the one guy said that the water runs uphill.
Well, right. It's going to pollute the water in Hageman.
Yeah, it runs uphill. So, and then they had the white paper from I forget. I think it was Phil Lyford had it in the paper. The whole page.
Oh yeah, that they copied from.
They copied it off
somewhere on Iowa or something.
Yeah, but if you looked at, I went on that internet. And all that was done before the DEC had regulations with landfills.
Right, and they left out the sentence from that same white paper that said, if you're going to have a C&D landfill, it should go in an industrial park. They left that part out.
Well, naturally, that's naturally. So
wasn't that where ours was going to go?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But like I said before, the landfill is not dead as long as I'm alive, so.
So the mayor had absolutely nothing to do with this charter commission that she appointed.
No, she didn't.
That did everything that she wanted.
No, she didn't. I wish she would call and let us.
It must have been all those brilliant people that she appointed that.
Maybe, yeah.
And weren't all these decisions
Maybe she'll-
unanimous, Bob?
Maybe she'll call.
commission?
Well, no, but you know, that proves it, I guess.
Yeah, here she's going to call and straighten us out on this one.
Yeah.
So,
843-2500 is the number, by the way. You're entitled to call. We're not required to listen. So, well,
but we will if you're.
we will if you're reasonable, even if you disagree with us.
And I'm sure there's going to be some disagreements, but
You think?
We got two.
got 2 calls. Wow.
I think it's only one anyway.
think it's one.
Did he say yes? He says yes? Yes?
Looks like he's saying yes.
Okay. This is WCSS. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning. You were talking about the C&D landfill.
Yes.
What type of landfill is that the city operates between 2nd Avenue Extension and Belmont Place in Amsterdam?
Well, that would be a C&D landfill.
That's a C&D, but it's not lined and it's
not regulated.
It's not regulated, but that's not going to pollute anybody according to them. So
Well, how does that landfill fly?
because the mayor said it's okay to do it.
Yeah.
Well, who said it was okay to do it when the previous mayor was in? That previous mayor?
Yeah. It's.
Because it hasn't been going on just since the mayor's come into
Oh my God! No, it's been going on for as long as I know.
As long as I can remember, it's
Yeah.
been going on. But
Longer,
You know,
longer-
and
longer
also,
than
what
our
kind of
lifetimes,
regulations are there? Who controls what actually gets into that dumping area?
DPW, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's my point. You know, who's to say that they're not dumping in their oil spills and all other kind of crap from when they have to dig up a sewer line and all that other nonsense?
No one knows what's going in there except the people who are dumping there.
Well, how come nothing is done about it? That's just my question. So
A few people have tried to do something about it, but nothing was done. I don't know if I should mention his name, but the fellow that lives real close by to that place complained
Adjacent to
about,
it.
objected to it many times at City Hall, Common Council meetings, but they just ignored him.
So the idea is that the city has an opportunity to have that same type of arrangement on a larger scale and
No,
actually
not the same type
Not
of
remotely
arrangement.
the same time, but the
It's completely different construction of it.
yeah,
and the only thing
and regulated by the state.
right,
Yeah.
but nobody wants it in their backyard, correct?
Well, it really isn't in anybody's backyard.
Yeah, it's not in anybody's backyard.
It's in the.
It's probably at least
It's in the middle of the industrial development
Yeah,
part,
and
or
it's-
the.
and it's at least probably a half a
Industrial
mile
park.
from any residence.
Yeah.
And the company that was going to site this or wants to site it was going to take pictures of all buildings within a certain distance of the landfill, and if there was any damage from the construction of the landfill, they would take care of it, either buying your house at market value or repairing it, whichever you wanted.
Does anybody happen to know what route the trucks take from the transfer station over on the south side up to the Mud Road landfill? Does that go up Market Hill, or exactly how does the garbage get from our transfer stations to Mud Road in Fulton County?
No idea.
No idea.
They might be going right up Market Hill.
They could very well be.
They could.
One of the complaints about the C&D landfill was, and a false one, was that all these C&D trucks will be going over our streets. Well, the truck route was made to avoid nearly entirely the residential areas, and in fact, C&D landfill trucks are coming through the city every day. They're just not stopping here, and we're not getting the money from it. They're just passing through.
As I said, the actual garbage trucks, not C&D.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Actual
The
garbage
actual
trucks.
garbage trucks are going through the city right now.
All the time. Of course, they go through twice a week anyway, picking up the garbage. They're all over the
Well,
place.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
I know.
transferring the
I know.
garbage, which would be basically what
I know.
the other operation would be doing.
Right.
You know, that for the C&D landfill, any truck that wanted to come in and deposit anything there had to get permission prior to the trucks coming in. and they would be told what route to take to get there.
And the route was there was one route and one route only, and that was taking the arterial to East Main Street to the end of the city, and then there was a 50-foot section of the town of Amsterdam it would have to go through before getting on the road to. No, 50. No, that was in the city too. 50,
That was in the
50,
city.
Yeah, 50 feet of Lower East Main Street before it got on the road to the landfill.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All bases were covered.
This is WCSS. You're on the air.
Hi, Bob. Bob, I was wondering, the city, some people put out garbage way ahead of time. I seen a bunch of recyclables out yesterday. It was supposed to be picked up the 17th. There's no fines for people who put out garbage or anything, recyclables, whatever, ahead of time. You talk about the CD landfill. We weren't allowed to vote on that, and later on I changed my mind and actually supported that because I saw information about landfills that had to do with Denver, and I think was where the Patriots play, because they used landfills, clean landfills, and that's where the stadiums were built on, and it was really good. So after seeing that, I supported that landfill. But what comes out, we can vote on charter changes that maybe the mayor likes, but we weren't able to vote on the C&D landfill, which probably could have brought jobs and money into the area, which would have been a good thing because everybody else was complaining about the casino and this and that. We had an opportunity, and we should still pursue that and be able to vote on it. Why can't we vote on a landfill?
Well, the people who prevented it from going up to a vote, their argument was we can't put it up for a vote because it might pass.
That was their argument.
That was the argument.
That's
Right.
the word
well,
they used.
There's a lot of people out there that just think that we're just so ignorant in things like that. I was surprised about how many people went out and voted in Tuesday's primary. A lot of people are just fed up with everything that's going on. And after November, I'm officially going to be an independent, but but something has to be done locally. You can't. It's a big joke. They're worrying about somebody smoking a cigarette at a park, and yet look at the pollutants that are going up in the air to drive to that park. They can't enforce these laws. An alderman doesn't even have the authority to put up a stop sign, but they're worrying about somebody who's smoking. Why is it in the wintertime that when the streets become narrow, they don't have snow removal? With snow removal, some of the snow goes up on a sidewalk and stuff like that. They've never been able to solve that problem, and this is some of the things that the Common Council ought to be addressing. Why don't we have snow removal? How come we don't have a real, what's wrong with that?
There you go. We used to do that. All right.
Yeah, for 20 years I've been going to Common Council meetings. They don't have snow removal on a consistent basis.
We used to have that giant snowblower, remember that?
Yeah.
That was, ate up those snowbanks.
Don't they have that anymore?
I don't think so. I haven't seen it in years.
Yeah, well, they wait till July. That's what they say. They say wait till July and it'll be taken care of.
Yeah, they're using.
Well, and of course, you want to know why they don't do it? Because Election Day is in November, and by the time November rolls around, everybody's forgotten the previous winter.
Yeah. Well, okay then.
All right.
Okay, Chet.
All right, bye.
I'm
getting cynical, huh?
The mayor's going to the conference of mayors next week, and she's also taking. This is what I've been told. She's also taking the city clerk with her, so
She can take notes?
I guess she can't take her own notes, or maybe she takes her notes erratically or erroneously, because from what I hear,
Where's the conference?
Saranac Lake George, somewhere's up there. But we're going
Wobegon?
we're going to have two people going and pay the city paying the expenses for a whole week for two people.
Oh, there you go.
She can be gone for a week?
She's going to be gone for a week, so the city is safe for a week.
Wow.
She can't do anything bad.
Wow. You got a call?
Yeah, got a call.
This is WCSS. You're on the air.
Hey there, Sluggo.
Hey.
If it's okay, I'd like to change the tone of this thing. This whole program's getting me depressed now.
Did you vote?
All
Did you
this
vote for?
landfill and trucks on Market Street, et cetera.
You didn't like the landfill idea?
Huh?
Did you like the landfill idea?
Do I like the landfill idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's enough safeguards.
Did you call your alderman when it was being proposed?
I'm
He lives in
outside
Fort Johnson.
Fort Johnson,
Oh, that's okay.
so I don't count. In that regard, anyway. Hey there, Robert.
Hey, what's up?
You and I have known each other,
Long time.
well, some might say too long, but
50 years.
67?
65. Yeah.
5.
Almost
Wow.
50 years.
Hey, we're closing in on half a cent.
Yeah.
And you and I trade barbs and whatnot, and have for years, lately mostly at the Mohawks games. But I don't think I have ever said thank you, Mr. Going, for all your efforts following 9/11.
Well, you're
With
welcome.
what, Red Cross, I believe?
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, yesterday is what made me think of it, but
I thought about it a bit myself yesterday.
I just never said thank you. And I don't know, did anybody else from this area go down?
Oh, there were a lot of people. There were a lot
From
of
here.
people. Yeah, but don't ask me to. Run
You may
off-
be the only one I know.
Yeah. There were quite a few.
No, well, you don't want to try to name
I see. I
them.
was at my. An awful lot of the police and firemen were down there. They were down.
Yeah,
down
yeah,
on
but
shifts
you
for
were a
weeks at
private
time.
citizen
Yeah.
and went
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
And for that, they should. I don't know if they do that anymore.
Hey, I got a
Tip of the WCSS microphone.
I got a certificate. I got a thank you certificate. I got several of them actually.
You did get a certificate
I
of some sort?
did, and there were souvenirs they gave us.
Well,
I've got a Red Cross hat with a WTC on the back, and
But you ought to be thanked in public.
it was a long time ago.
I know it's 13 years ago, and all kinds of water over the dam and all that. But it still ought to. You still ought to hear it once in a while. Anyway.
It kind of got drowned out because the day after I got home, I was bounced off the bench by the Court of Appeals. So
The day welcome back.
Yeah, the day after I got home, I was down there for a month, and I come back and go out hiking.
Then
with
you're out of work.
some friends, and all of a sudden I don't have a job. Yeah. I did get.
Used to say,
I did get my name in the
remembers
paper at the time.
And so it
anyway.
goes. Which was the title of her autobiography, which is hysterical. If you ever grab a find a copy.
Who's that?
Linda Ellerby.
Oh, yeah.
Was it CBS? I think she was the first one. They gave her the overnight gig.
Yeah.
They figured, what the hell, a woman who cared, right? But she showed them.
Yeah, she was good.
I think she's still going.
Well, there you go.
Still got both feet above ground and taking nourishment.
Yeah, that's all right. It's all right.
We haven't lost anybody in the last week, have we, Bob?
I didn't. No.
No, I mean on a national.
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. If there
Not that we know of, anyway.
if there is, I've missed it. Yeah.
Anyway, got a couple of goodies on TCM today. The one that's on now and the one next, both with William Powell from 3132. Fridays in September, this is September, right?
Yeah.
Are all pre-code. Remember all that?
Yes. A little on the racy side.
And they have hauled out some fascinating stuff.
Yep.
God, how'd you like to just wander through their archives?
It's amazing that stuff was preserved, considering that they weren't allowed to show it for how many years.
Well, it was
all of a
also
sudden it's popping back
violence
up.
and risque dialogue, and I mean, they were never all that concerned about nudity because there wasn't that much. And the ones that showed it said so. including one with Joan Crawford from, 26 or 7, I guess it was. Of course, there were a few producers who would have loved to push that envelope, but Val Lewton and Todd Browning and a few others. But my God, the vault TCM must have, plus whatever else they might have access to.
Well, you know, when the whole thing opened up in the late '60s and early '70s, and everybody got into the pushing the envelope business. Let me tell you, when they show those movies now, they're
mundane.
But they're actually somewhat distasteful. They're part of the era. It's just it was so gratuitous, you know.
Because they're just doing it for
that was the problem.
It was so obviously gratuitous that we have to have the.
We can do it, so let's do it.
We have to do it. Yeah.
It had nothing to do with story or characters or.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a little pickier now, believe it or not, about what I watch. I've lost interest in a lot of this CGI stuff, let alone all car chases and gunfights, and except for westerns.
We watched a truly awful movie on Redbox a couple of nights ago. It was I've already blocked.
Current one?
No. There was a Chris Farley. He's been dead for a while. Chris Farley, David Spade, Good Boy Tommy, or something like that. I don't know. Tommy Boy, I think was the name. A comedy that the people who rent from Redbox gave 4 stars out of 5. Okay, so
are you kidding?
The wife picks it up,
and you diverge from their decision, their opinions that much.
Yeah. If there was a negative ranking, there was not a chuckle in the movie. Honest to God, and it was just endless, gratuitous bathroom humor.
Well,
that wasn't funny.
Some I just cannot watch, like Adam Sandler. But there are others I don't watch anymore because of their politics. Now, am I being unfair to me?
Yeah, probably.
I can't watch Danny Glover anymore. Sean Penn's a given. I just can't watch, even when it's 20 years old, it has to be on TV. I can't sit in the theater anymore. I can't sit that long. I have to be able to get up and move around. But I just, something about, to me, I feel like I'm advocating or at least agreeing with their political sentiments. You know, Baldwin is another.
Yeah.
Adam.
Alec.
I can't watch their stuff anymore. That's one reason I really like TCM. There aren't too many of theirs, you know. Once in a great while they'll sneak one in, but I'm glad my thingy has a change channel button and it has a mute. So
there you go.
And I use both.
We should get one of those here.
Oh, sorry, liberally.
You got one there.
Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you.
All right.
In public.
You're welcome.
Now we can go back to picking on each other again.
Okay, thank you, Dave.
All righty.
You're good for another year.
Take care, Robert.
All right, bye-bye.
And you too, guys.
Yeah, take care, Bob.
See you, Bob.
This is WCSS. You're on the air.
Hi, Bob. It's Rob Spagnola.
Hey, Rob Spagnola. What's up in the world of recreation?
Oh, I listen and I hear you guys say many things, and some I agree with, some I don't agree with. But today, I really have to take umbrage with something, because I think Tommy Boy is absolutely hysterical.
Really?
Yes.
Honest to God, neither one of us cracked a smile through the whole thing. Honest to God. So you're the guy who gave it the 4 stars, huh?
Yes, I am.
I didn't see it, so I can't.
But that's not the only reason I called, obviously. I just wanted to give you a reminder and to help me promote last year was such a success that homecoming day with the high school,
yes.
And we add on with the recreation department is October 4th this year.
Is that a Saturday?
Yeah,
that's the Saturday.
What time's it start, Rob?
The game will be at 3:00. The parade will be at 1:30, and they've also added this year a soccer game will be at the evening after the football game, 7:00.
Great.
Which I think was a nice addition by the school.
Yep.
and the school handles all of those things. So anybody with questions regarding the game, the parade, or the soccer game following.
Well, we'll just ask Gavin about that.
Hey, how many vendors you got coming in, Rob? Do you know?
No, not right now, but I think we're probably, we're hoping we had more than last year. I think last year we ended up with 50-something.
Yeah, it was a good crowd.
So.
That was one of the best times the city of Amsterdam has seen in a long time. That was absolutely, whoever came up with that idea, it was brilliant.
We'll give Rob the credit
Well,
for it.
then Rob gets the credit. But really, that was, it encompassed so much. It drew more people up there, besides just kids watching a parade, and it was absolutely, and that's got to be a tradition. Yeah. All right, you started something, you can't stop it.
We're going to make sure we do that every year.
All right, so how do us vendors reserve a slot here, Rob? How do we go about doing
that? You can go right on AmsterdamRecreation.com. There's a tab, homecoming event, and you just hit the tab, and the vendor form is there. The information about all the day's activities are there. We'd like, the recorder is the main sponsor again. We have other small sponsors as well. We'll have the big bounce houses. The kids love that. The Stu Palzak and Kevin Woolery from the AHS cross country team will organize both the kids 1 mile race, which is free to enter.
That's a good price.
The adult race, the 5K is $15, which is very cheap.
Well, if I can find my other shoe, I might consider that.
What's the website again?
AmsterdamRecreation.com.
Hey, listen, Rob. Well, I got you. We tend to be a little critical here, but I want to give credit where credit's due. I took my granddaughter, your second cousin twice removed, up to the Sassafras Safari over the weekend, and I got to tell you, all that volunteer work that went in spiffing the place up went to good use, because the place looks really good. A couple things, obviously still need a little attention, but considering what it was like a month ago, I'm very impressed, and it looks good, and I realize that for years it's been in kind of a legal limbo, and probably still is, but I'm glad I'm glad the bull got taken by the horns, and getting it done came first, because that's the important thing, and it's a beautiful facility for the kids, and I had a good time there myself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There were quite a few volunteers.
Yes, I was tied up that day. Was not able to go myself. I think we had a funeral, but
along with the DPW workers and the seasonal staff that we have. Yeah. And he didn't want his name mentioned, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. But Johnny Paris and his son John spent last Thursday and Friday there and stained probably about 80% of the place before they had to call it quits. Wow. So a big thank you to them for doing that, because as anybody can see and knows what it looked like before they actually stained it.
Yeah.
They did an unbelievable job, and then we fixed some other things, and it's been a long time coming. There's no doubt about that, but the scenario with the money,
right?
So it's nice to have that fixed up, and luckily we were able to do a couple of the other smaller parts.
And a nice touch of color on the peaks too, which gives it a kind of a carnival atmosphere.
Rob, speaking of money, did you know that the host city agreement with the landfill had a section in there to fund the recreation department for the Amsterdam?
I certainly do.
Okay.
Yeah, I was,
It's okay. We're looking
those
for your vote.
Well.
Hey, Rob, how many seasonal workers do they give you in the summer?
We have six or seven we're funded for, and then some others that do vegetation.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great job with that homecoming, though. Great job.
Yeah, so spread the word. If anybody has any questions, feel free to contact the Recreation Department at any time. We'll have the bands and music. The singer from The Voice will actually be there. he's going to sing a couple songs from season 2 of the television show.
Don't ask Bob to sing.
No, do you want me to sing? Would
Don't
you like
ask, please. Don't ask.
That's a different voice you're talking about.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Rob.
All right, take care, guys. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
This is WCSS 1490 in Amsterdam, New York. This is a show with no name with Gavin Murdoch, Jim Nikosha, and myself, Bob Going.
Somebody,
Who knows?
you got to turn the volume up.
Turn the volume up for what? I'm not talking to anybody.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, I'm talking to you.
I thought you were.
What did you think I was talking
I thought you pushed the button over there on the phone.
No. I don't know if it's ours yet. Is it ours?
I haven't seen the high sign yet.
We got the high sign?
Not yet.
I don't know what I'd do without Gavin here because he's sitting where he can see the high sign and I'm not. We're gonna have to put a big mirror up there.
I would think as long as that thing is blinking, it's probably for you.
Probably.
First two
Back to
numbers.
talking. Go ahead.
First two numbers.
This is WCSS. You're on the air.
Morning, Robert. How you doing this morning up there?
Just great. How are things down south?
Oh, I can't wait till humidity breaks. It's up at 90%. I want to ask you, making a fast story straight about this. I heard that, but that bridge going over on the south side, that pedestrian bridge is going pretty good.
I haven't seen much work on it lately.
Not lately, I haven't.
They were down there yesterday, walking around on one of the barges. Yeah.
Walking around?
Yeah. That's something.
And I mean, I don't know if they got some grants for that or what, but the whole city taking the streets up there. I mean, back in the '60s, all the thinking curbs were up high. As you get bad rainstorm, and they don't have no money to fix the streets, So
yeah, I remember that.
I mean, Bob, I said the curbs supposed to be up like 6 inches high if we get a bad storm.
Yeah.
And if you go up on some of the streets, like up on, I'm not going to say where, but they're about an inch. I think it rolls up way up higher than the sidewalks.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, that's another pick up Paul Taco's deal, So maybe he should take and pay for it, So.
Well, you think it's all Tonko's fault?
Well, I don't. He's not my cup of tea anyway, so So I don't.
Okay, we'll blame Tonko then. All right.
Okay, right. Bob. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
He's got his signs up now.
A lot of the signs are up. I see.
Tachik is up.
Yeah, I saw
Santa Barbara's up. Yeah. Tonko's up.
Yeah, well, it's time. The primaries are over, so.
We got 6 weeks, 7 weeks left.
It's not much. Hey, we got a very special Kaiser's Corner today, because this weekend marks a very great historic anniversary, and that is the Battle of Fort McHenry, which took place 200.
Oh, say you can see?
Yes, in Baltimore Harbor. I was reading up about it last night because it's been a while since I read the story. Baltimore attorney Francis Scott Key and another guy were negotiating with the British. This is during the War of 1812, and they went aboard ship to try to get the release of some doctor who had been captured by the British. It was, very popular. It was like, they arrested Dr. Cortez or something like that. Everybody says we got to get Dr. Cortez back. It was, I forget the guy's name. It wasn't Dr. Cortez. It was obviously
Dr. Diamond.
It might have been Dr. Diamond, but it was the same thing. It would be the same reaction, If Dr. Diamond was arrested, you and I would probably go on board a British ship and say, "Can we have our doctor back, please?"
Yeah, yeah. We trade Jim for him.
Yeah. So anyway, wars were conducted in a lot more gentlemanly manner in those days.
In some respects.
In some respects. So the guys on the front line still got slaughtered, but the officers were gentlemanly. So they invite Key and the other guy to dinner, and so they're having dinner with this general and this admiral aboard one of these ships in Baltimore Harbor. And the admiral and the general are discussing their battle plans for seizing Fort McHenry. And they said, "Now you understand, gentlemen, that we'll not be able to release you until the battle is over. Now that you know what our plans are." It's quite all right. So I think they were on board ship for like a week. Believe it or not, they'd already got the agreement to release the doctor, but they had to stay aboard ship. So on the, I believe it was what's today, the 12th?
Today is the 12th, yeah.
I believe that the bombardment took place the overnight of the 13th and the 14th of September, 200 years ago in 1814.
I thought this was the War of 1812.
Yeah, well, it kept on going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in fact, the Battle of New Orleans was in January of 1815, wasn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was Colonel Jackson, right?
You want to sing that one?
No.
Okay. 1814, we took a little trip.
Well, Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi. We took a little bacon, we took a little bean, and fought them British at the Battle of New Orleans.
Fired our guns, and the British kept running.
Fire once more.
Quite so many as there was a while ago.
Or they began to run down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico.
That's it.
All right, so tell us about Francis Scott Key.
All right, so needless to say, I mean, from the song the rest of the story that as it got dark, they saw the flag flying over Fort McHenry, and during the night, during the bombardment, the fireworks would go off, and then they would see that the flag was still there, and that but it's interesting, we only sing the first verse of the national anthem as a general proposition. During wartime, sometimes the fourth as well. But
how many verses are there?
There are four. There are four verses. And really, I don't think we realize that that first verse that we sing as the national anthem ends with a question. It's not that the Star-Spangled Banner does with it says
Does.
Yeah, really.
Well, it was a poem. It wasn't a song. It was originally a poem.
Oh, say does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? They're still saying, I don't know yet. We don't know. All we know is during the night it was there. Is it still there? And of course, anyway. So this time we're just going to do it for the words. So you don't have to stand up wherever you are, but... by the way,
you have to take your hat off?
It appears I think I will. Yeah, I should still take my hat off.
Okay.
He titled this "The Defense of Fort McHenry." Within a couple of days, it was called the Star-Spangled Banner, but it was printed the morning after he got off the ship. Okay, and he mostly wrote it aboard ship. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, see, I'm getting the words right, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That's the question.
Yeah. On the shore dimly seen through the mists of the deep, where the foe's haughty host in dread silence reposes, what is that which the breeze o'er the towering steep, as it fitfully blows, half conceals, half discloses? Now it catches the gleam of the morning's first beam, in full glory reflected, now shines in the stream. 'Tis the Star-Spangled Banner, oh, long may it wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. That's really the completion of the first thought. And then he talks about the British. And I should add, in explaining this, that the British had some mercenaries with them, and they also captured some slaves, which they said, hey, we'll give you your freedom. All you have to do is go to the front of the line and shoot everybody you see. So that's all mentioned here. I mean, it was, they weren't really abolitionists. So it was a bit cynical approach to freeing the slaves. And where is that band who so vauntingly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion a home and a country should leave us no more? Their blood has washed out their foul footsteps' pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave, and the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph doth wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, thus be it ever when free men shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation. Blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven-rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must when our cause it is just, and this be our motto, in God is our trust. And the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Nice piece of work for a guy who wrote it on the back of an envelope.
Good thing you had a big envelope.
Yeah. I got it all on one page. All right, that's Kaiser's Corner for today. Do remember the Battle of Fort McHenry over the weekend. I don't know. You know, it's the 100th anniversary of the First World War. You're hardly seeing anything about it. You know, these days. And 200th anniversary of the War of 1812 is almost over, and there's been like
Nothing.
You know, and that was, we were as precariously tipped on the edge of that blade and
sure,
as we were in the Revolution at any point.
Yep.
Because we lose that, we get our British accent back and get the Queen.
I mean, they had just burned Washington,
Yes,
you
they
know,
did.
a week earlier before this battle. You know, we talked about that. We talked about the guy, the clerk who carried away the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we've been on that edge a number of times in our history. We tend to forget. We think it's all just one continuous flow.
Happy days are here again.
Yeah.
And it's the 150th anniversary of the Civil War. We're hardly seeing any of that. Except, you know, in the book I'm writing.
Uh-huh.
Haven't got a title for it yet. No idea what the title's going to be.
Well, you gotta have a book before you can put a title on it.
Pretty much that's what usually happens, you know. Fix it up. Hey,
Take a quote out of the book and
Now he did lift one quote from Shakespeare, you know.
what was that?
The quote, "In God is our trust," was lifted from A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And here I thought Jerry Scrocky made that up.
No.
What's so funny?
Kaiser's Corner.
I think this was an AP report. No, New York Daily News. So it's an AP photo attached to it.
Got one.
Oh, we got one. All right, we'll get to that then. Okay. This is WCSS. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
Okay, I got an email also about Fort McHenry.
Yeah.
And do you know why the flag was still flying all that time?
Well, it wasn't.
Yes, it was, because they took all the dead bodies and they piled them at the bottom of the flagpole to keep the flag waving.
Oh well, that could be. I'm not sure about that though, because
that's what this email said. Anyway,
yeah, well, you know, that's
never mind.
It's because it's on the internet. Doesn't make it true.
Actually, here's the thing: the flag in reality, the flag that Francis Scott Key saw at dusk was not the same flag he saw in the morning. First thing in the morning, by tradition, they raised the larger flag for the day, and there was like a smaller battle flag that they saw during the night. But the Fort McHenry flag that we see at the Smithsonian was the one they saw in the morning.
That weighs several hundred pounds.
Have you ever seen it? It is colossal.
Well, anyway, that's what this email said, you know, that they piled the bodies at the bottom of the flagpole to keep it standing up straight so the flag would still keep waving.
Yeah, that could very well be. I've never heard
I just thought I'd tell
That's a
you
nice
that.
story. All right.
And you know, my daughter-in-law was in New York City on 9/11.
There you go.
She was down there for a jewelry, I don't know, sale or something, and she was right down there.
Not a day she'll likely forget anytime soon.
No, she won't, yeah. They had an awful time getting home from there.
We were down there the night before, putting a kid on an airplane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I heard you say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Food for thought. That's all.
Thanks, ma'am.
Okay. Bye.
This is in the Daily News. Companies run by Andrew Cuomo's biggest donors have won millions in state grants.
Is that a surprise?
Shouldn't they use the word awarded, not won? They were given.
It says at least 7 companies that received a total of $15.25 million in grants from state regional economic development councils are linked to $1.25 million in donations to Cuomo's campaign treasury since 2010. State record show.
So they gave back to his campaign what he gave.
Something like that.
A percentage, yeah. And now Now, of course, the Cuomo administration is saying, why, we have nothing to do with this. We don't set up these charter commissions. I mean, these no. He appoints these regional development councils, regional economic development councils. Our mayor is on one of them, on the local one, right? Yeah. And they decide how the state money gets, we do this on the basis of criteria.
Merit.
So, I've talked several times about how basically slimy it is that the local motel is getting $1 million in one of these state grants. And other motels that are competing with it don't. Now,
I heard the motel's been sold.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. They're probably told who to sell it to as well.
Yeah, but where's the money go that they were awarded?
I don't know.
But the old sellers, the old owners.
Anytime you get the state playing favorites, and that's what they're doing. They're using tax dollars to go to private corporations, right? Profit-making corporations. Well, we used to do this through member items, and this is a much fairer thing. Well, member items were crooked too, okay? And this is crazy. The government should not be in the business of deciding which business gets to make money and which business doesn't. That's not anything that the government should be doing. It's wrong, period. But this is what they do, and everybody and we're supposed to cheer it every time. Oh, look, we've got a grant locally. Great,
Bob.
And then we should be shocked to find that that they're giving kickbacks to the politicians who approved it. Come on.
In theory, it doesn't sound bad that they invite somebody in, give them a pilot to give them an advantage.
Right.
What about the poor guy that's been here in business for 50 years, working his tail off, and ends up paying through the nose in his taxes to keep going while somebody else is given an advantage in private enterprise? There's something fundamentally wrong with that. Now, I understand you want to get business here, but you can't do it on the backs of the businesses that are already here.
Well, see, FGI is leaving.
Well, they ought to just leave, walk across the board, and come on back and say, "Hey, we're here. We're going to build our plant. What can you do to help us?"
Yeah,
that's the ticket.
It's well,
what'd you think of the primary results, sir?
Well, see, Cuomo got nailed. He lost all the counties upstate. He won down. Now, certainly there weren't a whole lot of voters that came out, but he didn't win any of them up here.
Yeah, you look at the. I saw a colored-in map which showed districts where she had gotten more than 40% of the vote. With no name and no money and no background, and she got over 40% of the vote in all these different counties. Well, some of them were incredible. I was watching the returns as they were coming. Columbia County, she got like 77% of the vote. Okay, nothing. He carried nothing in the Capital District. The thing that
even Albany County.
Well, I'm looking at that and I'm saying, all right, I know how the Albany County machine works, okay? They tell you who to vote for, and you go out and vote for them. When Andrew Cuomo loses Albany County, that's telling me that there's some awful big players who are rooting for him to go down. And that's, you can't just say that's, some disgruntled teachers. He got clobbered in Albany County. And so that means that the machine either sat on its hands or actively undermined him. I mean, when I was working down there, the city employees were still collecting their $5 to cast their vote on primary and election days. Yeah. And I witnessed that. So I mean, I'm not making this up. It was still happening. And probably still is.
But the sad thing is, it doesn't matter what we do because New York City is going to carry him.
Well, maybe, but if maybe not, because aside from the heavy Italian districts, he didn't carry much.
But I also don't think the interest is that big coming out.
It doesn't take too many of his people who would ordinarily vote for him to sit on their hands. George Pataki got elected 3 times, okay? And nobody thought he was going to beat Mario Cuomo, and he beat him handily, okay? So Astorino is out hustling. He may not have a lot of money, but he may not need a lot of money because all he has to do is say, "I'm not Andrew Cuomo." The SAFE Act. If you look at the what I call the gun belt counties, don't tell me that this was crazed left-wingers out there to get a more progressive candidate for governor. No, this was gun owners who were out casting a no vote who might not otherwise have shown up.
Exactly. We took Misha down in July down to Hunter Mountain. So we went through here, Schoharie County, down that way.
Yeah. The signs are everywhere, aren't they?
There's more signs than there are trees down there.
Right. No
against,
SAFE Act.
Against the SAFE Act. Absolutely. It's unbelievable.
It was the same in Columbia County, which is why I wasn't totally surprised to see that result. But Columbia County's pretty Tony. It's got the Berkshire kind of section of it. It's got the Hudson big city with lots of antique dealers section. But let me tell you,
that may sink Kachek too.
It may very well sink her. I mean, she only won by like 8 votes, right?
So she campaigned
real hard
against because she was from Columbia County and she was a farmer. After she got elected,
Ulster County.
After she got elected, she voted for it.
So she voted against it before she voted for it.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, so yes, let me tell you, gun people talk to each other, and they know exactly how the representatives voted on that issue.
And some of them are single-issue voters.
Yeah, and a lot of them are. And when it comes to that, they definitely are. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. The only place Cuomo showed strength was in the big cities, where there's an organized party, but then not Albany. Yeah, and even then he didn't, wow. Anyway, no, I haven't got a buzz. It's not blinking.
No, it was.
No.
What's that?
It is blinking?
That's a blinking.
You got the sign?
That's a nod.
You got the sign?
Yeah. You got blinking and nod.
This is WCSS. You're on the air.
Yeah, I hate to call you back, but I'm gonna.
That's all right.
You're talking about the SAFE Act. If there is support for the SAFE Act, then why aren't the Republicans introducing that on the state Senate? Why aren't they introducing a bill, even though it won't get past the Assembly?
You mean for repealing it? The Republicans,
Exactly.
The Republicans don't actually control the Senate. There's more Democrats than Republicans in the Senate. Some of those.
You tell me that? No, that's not. I don't think that's true.
Well, it is true.
Well, then we've got a Democrat Assembly, a Senate, and a Democratic government.
No, I didn't say that either. The Senate has a working coalition of 5 Democrats and the Republican majority, and they kind of switch off on different jobs after a while. And the 5 Democrats have joined with the Republicans, but the Republicans are actually in a minority in the Senate in total. So in other words, on an issue like this, the Republicans could call for a vote, but they wouldn't have the 5 Democrats supporting them on that issue. And there were, frankly, way too many Republicans who voted for the SAFE Act, and I think they're going to find themselves in trouble.
Well, I heard Mark Butler speaking, and he's a big proponent for repealing the SAFE Act, but he said there just wasn't enough of support in the Senate to put it up there.
He's right.
And to have it go anywhere. And he said it would be political suicide for a lot of the downstate Republicans and from the Long Island Republicans to get caught in that crossfire.
Yeah, I was going to say that. The Long Island Republicans were voted for the SAFE Act. What they should have done is never let it get on the floor in the first place, but Skelos, the majority leader, is kind of bought and paid for by Cuomo. So,
why can't they have a 2-area laws such as for pistol permits in New York City. An upstate New York pistol permit is not valid in New York City. So why couldn't they have the same type of arrangement for the
SAFE
Act for upstate versus downstate?
They probably could. You recall it was rushed through in the middle of the night. There was no discussion. They called it emergency legislation. There were no hearings held and all that stuff. The whole thing was a disgrace, an absolute disgrace.
It was voted on with emotion, not with intelligence.
Yeah.
Yes.
The emotions against it was high at the time.
Yeah,
But,
that's right.
like I'm saying again, couldn't they have an upstate
Sure.
SAFE Act
Sure they could.
repeal and keep it? Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. This is WCSS. You're on the air.
Yeah, Bob, it's Paul. Can
Hey.
I just come fast? I want to ask. I know I'm almost out of time. You remember a long time ago back when Tony Mardico was
Well, I certainly remember Tony Mardico, yes.
I know. He was a hell of a nice guy. But anyway, they wanted sidewalks up there. They had all these different grants, and how come they never got no sidewalks up? And he was. I'm not gonna say where he lived. I know right. He's no longer here, but his wife and all that, and they deserve to have sidewalks up there, where he lived.
Yeah. Well, anybody want to take that?
I don't know.
I don't know where he lived.
I don't know.
It's up on Woodland Avenue. But I'm gonna say they should have sidewalks. He always wanted to have his wife.
Hey, Paul, you've stumped us here. Call back on Tuesday and give us something we can answer. All right?
Okay, Bob.
All right, have a good day.
Bye. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Listen, we got a special, we're not going to use the good, the bad, and the ugly theme to close out today. I found this very interesting recording last night. The Star-Spangled Banner did not become the national anthem until the 1930s, but it kind of began being standardized under Woodrow Wilson. He, in fact, put together a 5-man commission to come up with the sheet music for it, because it was. You hear 19th century versions of it, and the cadence is a little different from what we hear today. Mm-hmm. So they decided to standardize it. Among the people on the 5-person board was John Philip Sousa. If John Philip Sousa tells you this is how you play the national anthem, this is how you play the national anthem. Anyway, that was like in 1917-18, but this recording we're going to close with is from 1915, and you'll find that the phrasing is a little bit different from what you're used to. But what's even more interesting about this recording is that it's being sung by Woodrow Wilson's daughter, Margaret. And I think she had a friend with her, because there's a couple places where there's a little harmony. But anyway, this has been the show with no name. Bob Going with Jim Nicosia and Gavin Murdoch. We'll be back on Tuesday. And now this time, if you want, take your hats off and you can stand.
And bright stars through the perilous fight, for the world to see what was the gallantly streaming. And the
This is WCSS 1490 on your dial in Amsterdam, New York.